Today we are actually doing some historical research on a suitcase that we have come in contact with. We were given this suitcase last year. It was found under the floorboards of a home that used to be part of the Bon Air Inn. And the suitcase is filled with World War II artifacts that belong to a particular gentleman named Leonard Daniel Kelly. So the students are researching to find out a few different things. We're trying to find out, see if we can locate any members of his family who might still be living, to let them know that we have these items, and if they want, we're going to try and return them to them. And we also want to find out, part of the mystery is, why was this suitcase filled with these really important things, including his Navy uniform, left under these floorboards of this Bon Air home. We started towards the end of last year, so we just kind of baby steps, so it took us a while to get going and learning where, it was basically a process. So the students had to figure out, we had this suitcase full of items, so the first thing that we did last year is we took all of the items and we cataloged all of them, and we took photographs of everything, we put them into folders so we know exactly what we had. And now the next step is then going through, now that we've gone through and cataloged those items, now the next step is researching each item, finding out what they can tell us. We have actually a gentleman, Chris Van Tassel, who has come here from the Virginia Museum of History and Culture, and we also have Lise Vanderlinden that came from the Chesterfield Historical Society to work with us today.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It is very interesting to look back into history and to try to find things, because I enjoy antiques. I like to look at really old stuff, so we would just look into the suitcase, we would look at its materials, and then we look at everything inside of it, from military badges to about pins. The coolest, there's so many cool things. I thought his jacket was really interesting, and then he had this really weird pair of pants that was detailed, and then there was his notebook, which I found the most interesting. I mean, he doodled pictures of maps, and then we found erased words that was a bit hard to figure out. I've written them down here. So as far as we've gotten, it says, "Do you think you are the one?" is as far as we've gotten to decoding this erased sentences.
The students have shown a tremendous amount of excitement, and as you can see if you've been walking around today, as they find a new clue, they come to be very excited about that, and they're learning on how to take that to the next step, like where do we go from here. So if they're finding out, some of the students are finding out, well, we found out that the birth certificate, for instance, says delayed birth. What does that mean? So they're looking to see, well, the birth certificate didn't come out until 1959. Why was that? They're looking at his Navy record, looking at the different places that he served, trying to find out what engagements was he involved in and what happened in those engagements. So it's constantly filled with excitement. One of the things I want them to understand is the value of historical research. I want them to have an excitement, which I can see today, an excitement for learning about things from the past, learning about how that can tell us about people that are living today, have that excitement about knowing where they can go, that they have all these resources available to them, that they can go to the historical societies, that they can do this historical research and be captivated about the people that lived in the past. Being able to look at a document and being able to look at what that document can tell us about those people. That it's more than just a piece of paper, that an artifact is more than just an artifact, that it's telling us something about a person who lived in the past and what their life was like. It's telling us a story. This is our gentleman from World War II whose artifacts that we are researching right now. His name is Leonard Daniel Kelly. If you have any information about him, we would love that you would contact me. My name is Pam Rockenbach-Plaus. I am at Swift Creek Middle School. You can contact me at Pamela_Plaus@ccpsnet.net,